Hello friends, welcome to the ninth session of Hybris tutorial. In this session, we will learn what are scripting languages in Hybris, what are the use of scripting language, how we can write a Beanshell inside a scripting language section, what is the use of writing a Beanshell, and we will then learn how to write a simple Beanshell in the Hybris. So we will learn all these concepts in this tutorial. So before we start, let me show you a sample example of a Beanshell. So firstly, I need to go to the console tab in Hybris admin console, and over here I need to click on the scripting language. When I click on the scripting language, this window gets opened. So over here you can run a Beanshell. Either you can run a script of type Groovy, or you can run a script of type Beanshell, or you can run a JavaScript. If I need to run a Beanshell, I need to select the Beanshell script type. So like I have selected a script type as Beanshell. So if I just write a simple Beanshell, like I am printing some string, my first Beanshell, and if I click on the execute button, you will see it will print the logs in output section, my first Beanshell. So this is the first and very native example of writing a Beanshell. So how we can use a Beanshell, what is the benefit of using a Beanshell? Let me tell you. So Beanshells are basically used to enhance the functionality of your application or to test and debug the snippets of code without the lengthy compile and redeploy cycles. So what this means, so like I have this code flow, say I am in default checkout order service. Here I need to this is a particular API, right? So say in this API there is some bug or there is some error in my flow, so I need to debug what is the issue with this. So for that, what I need to do, either I need to add some logs over here, and then I need to rerun or recompile this code into my server, right? Or what I can do, I can directly call this service API from the Beanshell, and over there I can then trace where my actual code is breaking. So it means we can call any API in Hybris which is written in the service class through the Beanshell directly. So we can use Beanshell in debugging our code without deploying the code. It means we can debug the code in runtime environment only without any redeployment, because redeployment takes lot of time. We can use the Beanshells in other scenarios as well. For example, we have a list of orders, right? And I need to do something like in each order, say I need to firstly fetch all the list of orders in my system, and then I need to say update one section, say I need to update the description for this order or for all the orders present in the system. It means if I need to fetch any type of data in any format, and then I need to update some type of data which is frequently required in our daily project activities. Such type of tasks are frequently required in our daily project activities. So for those activities as well, what we do, we usually create a Beanshell, and through that Beanshell we are able to do such type of tasks. Now I will be just giving you a very simple Beanshell firstly, and then we can discuss. So this is a sample example of a Beanshell. You can see over here we have imported multiple statements, Like we have imported a service class, and then we have imported order model and flexible search query and search result. So you can see, firstly we have loaded multiple services like model service, flexible search service, default abstract order service. I will let you know how I could find the name of these services. I will tell you that, but for now just understand what this Beanshell is doing. This is just taking a list of orders in the input, and then it is using a for loop, and over that this is iterating the all list of orders, and then it is firstly firing a query into the database. And you can see this is the standard format. I mean, whenever you have to fire a query in the Beanshell, so you need to do something similar steps. You need to firstly write a query, and then you need to make a flexible search query object over that. In that you need to pass the fetch query, and this is how you can get the results. And because of these search result objects, flexible search query, because of these we have imported these type of statements. So now you can understand why we have written these import statements. And because we are using the flexible search service dot service, and this is the reason we had loaded this flexible search service bean. So this flexible search service is a out of box Hybris provided service for the flexible search. I had discussed this in my previous session as well, in the flexible search tutorial in session 8, right? So when I have got the results, I am just iterating those results, and I am just printing the order number and what is the current order status, like it is created in state or is in the another state. So this is what I am doing here. So what I will do, I will just take one sample order number. So like just take one sample order number, this one. And what is my requirement? Firstly, with this order number, what I will do, I will fetch the complete order model, and then will update this description section, right? I will just input or insert this description section with some value. So this is my requirement. So how I will be doing this? Firstly, I am inputting the order number, and you can see I have input the order number. Firstly, let's try to run this, if this works or not. So how I can run? I will just go to Hybris admin console over here, and then in console and scripting language, and then I will select the script type as a Beanshell. So I will just paste my Beanshell, whatever it is. So if I need to insert any value into the database, then I need to select this option as a commit. If I don't need to insert any value, I just need to select or search any data from the database, then I don't need to do anything. I can keep this as over in this option only. So as you can see, in this current Beanshell we are not inserting any value, that's why we are not keeping this in commit mode. So I will be simply clicking on the execute button, and when I click on the execute button, ideally you can see here we should print the order number and order status. So you can see as the order number is this 4 times 0 2001, and the order status of this is, let's see what is the order status of this order number. As you can see, the order status is completed. So it should print this line, order number is, and then completed. It should print something like this. Let's try to execute this, and as you can see, it is executing currently, but it has thrown us some error, right? So why it has thrown some error? Because it is saying no bean name with default abstract order service. So let's see why it is throwing error. So it is throwing error because we are using this line and there is no bean with this default abstract order service. Let's try to remove this, because currently we are not using this default abstract order service in our code. So we can remove this, and then we can try to execute again. and when we try to execute again, you can see in the output section it has printed the order number is, and then it has printed the status as completed. It means it has fetched the data from the uh, database directly, right? So you can see this is the best use. And over here I have just printed one order because I have listed one order. You can give the n number of orders, something like this, double comma separate. I can give any other order as well. Say I can give my second order. uh, Let me try to give this order as well. So I am inputting this order as well, and if I try to run now, you will see it will print the status of both orders, right? Both orders order status is completed. Okay, now my requirement was firstly, before I insert the value into this description section, this description section, this one, let me explain some concepts about the Beanshell. uh, so this is a for loop. I mean this is how we can use a for loop over here. And why we are using print statement is basically to print any logs in the output section. So this is how you can print any type of required data in the in your logs. Like you need to print order code, or you need to print the order status or payment status. I mean any type of data you can print. How I am getting this type of data? Because this result dot get, we have just fired the query select o dot pk from order as o. So we know that when we are firing this query in the result, in the results, this result will be of type of order model only. So because this is of type of order model, that is why we have imported this statement, import de.hybris.platform core model order model, right? If I just go to order model class in my code, this is out of box model class provided by Hybris. It should be in the platform folder. You can see if I just open this, right? And if I go back to my Beanshell, here I have, now I am in the order model and I need to search for the order status. So why I written that like this, order model dot get status? Because if I search over here, you will see we have order dot get status. We don't have, but if I again click Control O, this order status will be in the superclass of order model, and the superclass of order model is item model. I'm again pressing Control O, then it will fetch the data from the item model. And over here you can see we do have get status, and the superclass is abstract order model, not the item model. I think if I just try to, you can see this is the item model is the superclass of this class. So we do have one more layer between the order model and item model. So if I just try to search again, right? So this is the reason I wrote the order model dot get status. So I hope now you should understand how I am getting all these values. So whenever you need to print any value, you should firstly search for the same model in your class. Like I search for the order model, like I search for order model, and then I just search for the getter of particular attribute which I want to fetch the value. Like if I want to see any other getter method like get placed by, if I just want to search the attribute get placed by, I can use this attribute. If I again click type Control O, you will see we do have other attributes as well, and we can directly print. So writing a Beanshell is I think easy in comparison to writing a complex flexible query where we need to use the joins. Like if I need to uh, do the same thing in flexible query, over here I need to have a join between the order and order status, but here I can directly fetch the data order model dot get status. And there is one more use of this bean cell. Like I told earlier, here I can update the value of any code as well, right? So like I need to update the description value with some custom value. Say I need to update my first experience, I need to update this value. So how I would be doing, I will be using this model service object. So in your project you also need to use the same service, because this is out of box service provided by Hybris. So I will be just writing like this: model service, the same name which you have used here, model service. If I use like model service 1, then I need to, because this is the service name which is given by Hybris, but this can be any name. So model service 1 dot save, right? I need to use this, but for that firstly I will set my value order model dot set description. Let's try to search if we do have any attribute for description. Set description, no, there is no attribute. Then I will again press Ctrl O to search set description in the super type of order model. So you can see in abstract order model class we do have. So I will simply copy this and then I will write it in my Beanshell. Control V, set description, and if I just see here, it requires a string value. So I will just input a string value like my first Beanshell change. Right, you can input any customized value. You can have a logic and accordingly you can input your custom value. And if I just try to execute, should I execute like this only? No, because here I am inserting some value in the database. That is why this mode should be in the commit mode. And again, when I am saving anything, I need to save some object. So I need to input this object over here, and then it should work. The mode should be commit mode whenever you are saving any value or inserting any value in the database. So I'm just clicking on the execute button. It will take some time to insert the data into the database, and you can see, let's try to refresh this and see whether there is any change in the value over here or not. And you can see the value has been updated. So you can see this is another best use of Beanshell. Whenever you are working on some live website or in production environment, you have lots of data, like the count of that data is very high. It is not possible to update that huge amount of data manually. So for those type of tasks, we use the Beanshell, where we can update or we can insert bulk data into any model at a time, right? So this is one thing. This is just a basic sample example where I just use two out-of-box service classes and I just use those. So if I just show you where this flexible service class is defined, let me go into the code and let me try to search this. So for that, if I just go into I'm just trying to search in the XML, because the mapping should be in XML only. And if I just try to this, because this is how we can define a bean, right? Then I think it will give some less number of results. So you can see this is how a flexible search bean is defined. So we are basically use the service class, and you can see over here we have defined the flexible search service class. So this is the class name, and how I am picking the value, which value I am picking. I am picking the value of alias name. If the alias name is not there, not mentioned, then we will be using the bean id value. But if alias is there, then we need to use the alias only. So this is why we have used the flexible search service name over here. So I hope now you should understand where I am picking all these value, right? So let me give you one more sample example of a bean cell. So guys, this is one more example of a bean cell. Here what I am doing here, I am using the flexible search service class, but again here I am using the one custom service class as well. This is again a Hybris provided out of box service class, but this is to check the status of order. Let's see how it is working. If I say go to this class, default check order service class, it is here we have one API in the service class. So basically it is checking what it is taking as order model into the input in arguments, and then it is checking this flag order dot get calculated. If its value is false, then it is returning false. If its value is order.getEntries.is empty, again it is returning false. So it is basically returning the boolean value based on multiple logic, right? So if I just need to call this service class directly, I need to call this method, right? I will be inputting my order model. So how I will be doing, firstly I need to search the XML mapping, I mean the service class name. How I will be searching this, I will be searching like this, something like this. I will be searching in XML firstly the alias name which I can use in my Beanshell. So I will just click on search button. It will take some time to load. Let's see if we can. Normally it is there in spring.xml classes only. If I just open here you can see here we have defined the bean, and we used to use this name for using this default check order service class, this API. So I want to use this API and I need to check what it is returning. So how I would be doing, this is my I mean the Beanshell. Here I am using default check order service class, as you can see, and then in this I am inputting the check method. I am calling the check method, and I am just passing the order model. So this is the same flow which we were using. I am just inputting one order, and inside that order I am just firstly fetching the order model. Here I have fetched the order model, and then I don't need to do this time. Then I will be just calling this method. So whatever value it will be printing, we have printed the same. So like you can see, this will be returning the either true value or false value, because the return type is boolean. So let's try to run this and let's see how this behaves. So since here I'm not inserting any type of value, so I can remove this commit option, and I will just simply click on the execute button. So it should print two type of things. One is it should print either true or false value, or then in the second line it should print order number with order status. So let's try to run and let's see how it works. So it is printing like true value, and then it is printing the second line. How it is printing the true value? Because uh, this is printing according to this logic. So you can check this logic, but intention of showing this example was how you can firstly find a corresponding Beanshell name in the XML, and then how you can call a custom API in a Beanshell. So this is how you can use. Now you can understand how we can use a for loop as well in the Beanshell, right? So I will just give you one more thing. So in case I need to use any list or set in my Beanshell, I will not show you full example, but I can show you how to use a list or uh, set or any type of collection thing. So in a Java, how we used to declare a list? We used to declare list something like this: list of type string, my list, right, is equal to new array list, right? We used to declare something like this, right? And then we used to add any value over here, right? But let's see if this works in Hybris or in Beanshell or not. So before this to be work, we need to import the util class. So I will be just importing the util class. Import java.util.star to import all the classes present in this library. So I will be just clicking on the execute button. Let's see if it pass or not. It should probably throw an error, right? The error is at the line number 24. You can see in the stack trace, you can debug or find at which line it is throwing error. It is throwing error at line number 24, and what we have written in the line number 24, this is the reason it is throwing error. The reason is we cannot use these things in Beanshell. We just need to declare something like this. It is smart enough to detect whether you are inputting a string value or whatever value. So if I run now, you will see now there will be no error. It is working as expected. So in this way you can add n number of items in a list, and then you can use this list in your code flow as well. So this is how we can call a class or API from a particular service class, right? Then I will give you one more example. Normally what happens here, I have just done the operation on one order, right? But in real-time project environments, you need to insert the data in thousands of order at a time, and when you do thousands of this operation on thousands of orders or any thousand of items, so it takes a lot of time, say 10 minutes or half hour or sometime 2 hours. So in this duration, normally what happens, this HAC gets timed out. So when this gets timed out, these logs stopped printing. I mean, you don't see anything getting printed over here. So then what is the alternative? The second alternative is, if you can see those logs getting printed over here, then it will be the best thing for you. So how can you print your logs in the server as well? So for that, I can give you one Beanshell, and the Beanshell is like this. So for that, you need to use the Apache logger class. So you need to import this statement, and then you need to just write this statement: logger.get logger, and whatever the the Beanshell name you want to give, like my test script, I'm giving this name, right? And then using this log, whatever the thing you want to print. So if I want to say print the name of description over here, so how can I do? So I will be doing something like this. I will be printing firstly in HAC console as well. So order model dot get description, right? and then I will be printing the same thing in server logs as well. It will be done something like this: order model dot get description, the same thing. Right, so what it will do, it will print the same log in the HSC console as well in the server logs as well. Right, so I will just remove this statement. So you can see we are not inserting any object in this Beanshell, so we will not keep this button on execute. We will just run this because we are just searching anything from the database. So I will remove this line as well, it's not required. So you will see now there is nothing printed on server, but when I run this command execute button, so it will be printing the description like this, my first Beanshell channel, and it should print the same thing in server logs as well. You can see it has printed the same thing in the server logs as well. So this is how you can print any logs in your server logs as well. And because server logs are always saved in your directory, that is why it is very easy for you to debug any issue. So this is very much useful when you need to do any operation on bulk number of data, say thousands of data. At that time, printing a log on the server is very useful for your debugging or any purpose, because in those scenarios this HSC generally gets timed out, and over here logs generally doesn't get printed. It stops getting printed. So for that you can print the logs on the server. Right, here I can show you one more thing. You can see here I am passing the order list, and then I'm iterating that order list like this. Then I have fetched the order model here, and you can see from here I have called another method. So in Java, like from one API we call another API. In the same way, you can see I have called this method, call method order model, and here I am just printing some value, say hello. In this method you can put any your custom logic inside this method, but this is the way you can call your one method from another method. I can call another method, say return string value. Right, and what I will be passing here, I will be passing the order, and then I will write this method string right. And what I will be returning over here, I will be returning the order number. So it will be order dot get code. Right, so I will be just printing this on the HSC console, and over I will just write here inside in inner, calling inner API, something like this, calling inner API and printing on HSC console like this, and then I will just use plus here, and the same thing I will be printing in server logs as well. Right, so again on the server log it should return the order number, and here on server log 7. Right, so I think this should be the best example for you. So if we try to run this, right, you can see right now we are over here, and if I try to run this, you will see it has printed calling the inner API and printing in HSC console. Here it has printed the HSC console log, and in the server you can see calling inner API and printing in server logs. So it has printed in our server as well. So guys, this is about the bean cell. Now I think you can understand what is bean cell, how to write a bean cell. You should be able to write from a simple bean cell to a complex bean cell. So now we know about the bean cell. I think now we can write a definition for the bean cell, and the definition of a bean cell is: Beanshell is a Java-like dynamically typed language that allows to execute scripts in running environment. Right? We have executed a script in running environment so that we can test any code, debug any code, and we can extract any type of data as well. So I mean, this is a definition of bean cell. So where we can use a bean cell, we can use it to enhance the functionality of our application, right? Like we can modify the huge amount of data, like we modified the description of an order in our example, or to test and debug the snippets of code, right? We can test any API whether it is working properly or not. How we can call an API from Beanshell, I have already told you. We need to find the corresponding mapping or alias name of that class or that service class into the XML file, and then we need to same or load the same service class into a Beanshell through a method like this, and then we can call the respective method of this service class, right? Like we have called the search method, right? Snippets of code without lengthy compile and redeploy cycles, right? We don't need to do any redeployment during the running of the Beanshell. It can be executed at runtime environment. So there is one more information about the Beanshell. So when Hybris introduced this feature, it introduced this feature in release 4 of Hybris. So Beanshell feature introduced, right? So this is also one information which you should know. So what exactly we do in Beanshell? Now you have understood the logic of Beanshell, how it works. So what exactly we do in Beanshell? So we create some Hybris object, right? We create some Hybris object. Like over here we firstly created the order model, and then we persist it and feed to some service method, right? Like I have persisted this order model by calling a model service class in my one of examples, so you can better now correlate this definition, right? So this is one more thing, and there is how this Beanshell is executing internally, how this script is executing internally. There is one more concept which you should understand and is frequently asked in interview question as well. So which all API it is using? So this scripting is based on 4 main interfaces. You should learn the name of these interfaces. First one is scripting language service, which provides the method for obtaining script executable object. The second one is script executable object, right? So this is the object which we pass in the service method. And third one is script content. Script content means the data or content which we use in this service method, right? And then whatever the result we get, we save that in script execution result. So this is again one more interface which we use in our scripting. So these are the four objects or four interfaces which we use in scripting. So you should know this. This is frequently asked in interviews, right? So basically this is all about the scripting. So scripting is not only limited to this task. We can have other things as well, right? Like we have written the scripts or script lines over here. We can pick the script written on a particular directory structure in our server, and then we can run that. So I can give you one example. So you should run that script into your local system. So like I have this script, and here at this path in the scripts folder we do have this groovy beanshell. You know, either we can run a beanshell or we can run a groovy script. So like in the scripts folder I have this groovy beanshell. How I can run this? I will import to the same import statements, and from this path, firstly I will be picking the script from this path, and then I will be making a resource object from this script, groovy script. And then we will prepare firstly content. So this is how we prepare the content, and then with the content we will call script language service API, and here we will be passing the script content. Whatever the result will come, or we will be filling this in the script executable object, and then we will be getting whatever the result we get. So like now you should be clear why we use these four interface in our scripting, right? So this is how you can use a script which is present at particular class path location, right? You should execute this script, because currently I have not placed any file over this directory structure, but you should use this script and you should let me know in case you face any problem. So guys, this is all about the scripting, how we can create a Beanshell, how we can use this Beanshell, where we use these Beanshell in actual project environments. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, you can share this with your friends. Thank you for watching. Bye.